Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Coming into Being. Here we are every Wednesday. And so, if you're in a place where you need to take a moment to regroup, Sydney pops up immediately. Um, you just need to take a breather or simply want to chill for a moment. This is the right place for you. So, we're here every Wednesday to um, just to provide that space. And sometimes it's nice to have that group. It's sort of like going to the gym, but this is the gym of connecting with yourself and taking that chill time. And how to wear white. Hello, how to wear white. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, I think you've been here before. It's been a while, so good to see you. So just kind of take a moment, just kind of move your body, just kind of like, sometimes we get so stuck in the way we hold ourselves and we're not even realizing it. And we were just busy. So it's good to just kind of shake it out a little bit and then just settle in and notice how that feels. Taking time to just connect and notice yourself, your body for a moment. And I just want to tap into the group to see if there's anything particular that comes up. And Asta, hello Asta, popping up also. So it's nice when people show up right at the beginning because then I can kind of tap in more specifically to who's present. And Earth Dancer, hello. Lots of faces that we've seen before. That's always nice. And if you're popping up in the background, you're welcome to stay in the background. That's fine. Or stop by and say hello in the chat, especially the people on YouTube. So take a nice deep breath in and then exhale all the way out. It just push all the old stale air out, really kind of force it out of your system. Take a nice big breath. We'll come back in and then settle in on your chest, your heart space, and your breathing, and just paying attention to the breath, noticing what it's doing. So let's see. I'm just tuning into the group and going to see where this takes us. There's a little bit of kind of curling in on yourself, on oneself, but in a way that has to do with like just pulling back from the external. Is going on. That's popping up as the first. So we might see that. Okay, I'm just taking time for myself, kind of curling in, and it's like we're pulling back because it's been a little rough out there with whatever's going on, and so you kind of pull back, and we can kind of. It can come from the place of, okay, I'm just going to take time and connect to myself. But it also can come from that place of, I want to run away from everything. I don't want to connect in. And to know the difference, first of all, you got to be real honest with yourself about how you are really feeling, what is really going on. And to do that, you just have to like sit in that stillness and that calm and just notice, breathe, feel your body. So putting aside the mind and the emotions for a bit, because we can get skewed on that and think it's our mind, our thoughts or our emotions, and it's actually somebody else's, for example, or something that we've inherited. We've just got that same pattern that we repeat. And so noticing the body. So we'll do that. So let's take another nice deep breath in. And then just release it with a hard exhale. And then coming back into your chest space, your heart area, your breathing. Just becoming aware of your whole body. So you can kind of go top to bottom, head to toe if you want, or just kind of just notice what you're feeling. If anything comes up, So it could be thoughts that are coming up. That's fine, because that's an indication of tension in the body, or stress or emotional stuff going on, but it's like kind of pulling you away. It could be just kind of feeling a little jittery, it could be feeling tired. Notice how your body feels physically to get a sense of where you are. Yeah. Okay, so that's helping to click in for at least some of you. It's like, oh, okay, I wasn't noticing that. I wasn't paying attention to that kind of sense. So let's take another deep breath in and then just exhale. Come into your head and kind of mm, feel yourself, like be aware of your forehead. And then be aware of the back of your head and kind of feel like you're like sitting at the back of your head. Your awareness is there and you're looking forward across that great space of your head, your brain and all that. And so you're looking at from the back and kind of find that center place of your head and kind of get a sense that you're looking at that. And it's okay if you're exactly precise, just just kind of following along will take you there, even if you're not necessarily aware of that. Yeah. And everybody's pretty good enough, good enough. We're not going to get into precision here, but you're close enough, so that's fine. And now dropping from that point, kind of following that point as it drops down, kind of like a plumb line or just a ray that's going straight from that center point in your head all the way down to your lower abdomen until it gets about that center area of that lower abdomen, sort of like between the belly button and the pubic bone and the hips. So, and then the back, the sacrum in the back. So that whole area sitting at the center. Let's just, yeah, so some of you are a little slower getting in there, and that's fine. It's better go slower than just kind of zip through. Yeah, there we go. Settling into that, a deeper connection with self here. And if you want, you can put your hands on your lower abdomen just to kind of connect with yourself more deeply. If that's helpful, that's good. So notice how that feels, and just notice your breath down there and notice if there's any kind of sensations that come up. There's actually kind of a lot for some of you. Some of you are a little bit more, there's a little bit more of a distance to that. So it could be a couple reasons for that. Could be a little bit of distance because you've moved through stuff and it's kind of shifting away from you, or you're putting a distance. Hey, Cherie, good to see you. That's been a while. Or it could be distance because you're separating yourself out, but you haven't really kind of in the way of ignoring this. I'm just going to put this aside. I don't want to deal with this now. So it could be both of those. So just notice that. Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to the chickens over there. So your hands on your belly, just breathing into your lower abdomen and noticing what you notice. What's your body doing? So just tuning into what your body is doing. Does it feel tight anywhere? Do you feel any kind of shaking like I just did, for example? I do that when there's stuff shifting, so no worries there. And slowly just relaxing into that lower abdomen. That's like a really deep connection to self. Yeah. And anything that's coming up, just breathe into that. There's a lot of emotions. So how to wear white, you've got a lot of emotional stuff down there that's kind of coming to the surface. And this is part of the difficulty for taking that time to connect with ourselves, because then we start really feeling all the stuff that we haven't taken the time to focus in on. We've just kind of been running, and says, okay, let me just put this aside while I just kind of get through this. And that's fine, but there comes a time that we just need to take that time to connect with ourselves. Let's see how people are going there. Yeah, Sheree, you've got a little bit of you're kind of stiff around that, at least today. I'm not saying you're there all the time, but there's a sense of just like, it's kind of that awkward stiff, like, okay, I'm not quite sure how to dance this dance. Do I know the steps? And you do know the steps, but you're just in that place where you're feeling awkward with it. Let's see who else asked. Earth Dancer, you feel pretty smooth with that, but take a look at that smoothness. Like you're kind of flowing with that, but there's a quality in that flow for you that is a little bit of a way of distancing yourself from what's there. So it's a nice feel, and it feels good. And so a good portion of that is good. There's just like that thread, that little flavor so we want to just tune into that thread to shift through that, so that flow can just really be more expansive for you. Yeah. I will do that. I am able, and that's just an ability I have, to really tap into that one thread that's there that is holding people back. And they say, well, I feel great, because let's say 99% of them they're at that place of really being expansive. And I says, well, there's just this little thread here. So it's not like you're not there, but this is kind of that refinement. Let's see. So everybody just kind of staying with that breath in that lower belly, feeling that lower abdomen, and just breathing, just focusing on the breath and just noticing what comes up. So it's going to pop around you. I'm going to check in with the other two that are showing themselves here. Asta, yeah, I think you've got a lot of sadness that's showing up today in there. Maybe along the lines of loneliness, that aloneness piece, feeling just alone in your life. It kind of feels like it's with specifically with intimate relationship. So not really getting that fullness of that relationship that you would like. And Sydney, let's see, Sydney. How am I gonna? Okay, I'm trying to find the words for what I'm noticing here. You're overly structured in your. You've got and by overly structured, it's like you've got too many structures that you're working with, that you've built yourself around, and there's this piece where you're just gonna have to let go. And you keep trying to structure everything in your life so that you can just go on, and I think you're reaching a point where it's like you have to let go, and not easy. big, yeah. And so there's a lot of trust piece that really comes up really bigly. So in a big way. So let's everybody take a nice deep breath into your lower abdomen. So we'll get that flowing for everybody, at least opening up that flow for everybody. And if you don't have your hands in your lower abdomen, I would advise you to do that now, because I think everybody just needs that extra self-love. And so putting your hands on yourself, giving yourself kind of that hug is a way of doing that. It's like connecting with yourself directly, without the words, without the explanations, without the justifications to yourself. You're just holding yourself. That's an important piece. Yeah. Oh God, how to wear white. You've got some weird stuff in your lower abdomen. Weird. I mean, it feels, the energy there feels like you've got these little metal bars in your lower abdomen, and that just feels really painful. So that's what it looks like. So what does that mean? It feels like there's a part of you that got, I want to say got buried. So it might not be quite on target what I'm saying, but it's that general sense. So that it might, well, it's not quite buried, but it's this and this. Well, that's close enough. And you're really pulled away from that. You really don't want to work with that. Look at that. And I would say you have, just that you haven't really dug in very much. It's like you've stayed at the surface, and you don't. So I'm going to say that's fine, and you need to keep going down deeper and deeper, little and little and little by little. Yeah, that just knocks the air out of my. It feels like it just knocks the breath out of you. But you're going to have to go through that piece by piece. Go a little bit more deeply than you feel you can tolerate. Like, go to that tolerance level. So you guys, for everybody, when you feel something, so you can actually do it with pain that you're feeling in your body. It might not be your body, it might be your energy field in something, but you feel it through your body. You feel to that level that feels that you can tolerate, and then just go in a little bit deeper and sit there and just allow yourself to be in that real discomfort where you're going, I want to pull away, but you're kind of maybe shaking, and it's like, I don't want to feel this, but it's like I want to go away, but you're holding, and as you stay in that place of that, just past that tolerance level, you create a new level of tolerance. Okay, and then you can kind of step back, take a deep breath in, go back to that place of where is that level of tolerance, and then take yourself just a little bit more deeply. I mean, you can do that by yourself, and also you can do it with somebody else. Like with a therapist, not a talking therapist, like an energy healer who's taking you through that process. Yes, I woke up with fear fleeing all through my legs and shoulders. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like there's nothing in between your whole body there. The legs and the shoulders and nothing in between. So there's a lot of there's a lot of disconnect there for you in terms of yourself. So let's take a nice deep breath in. And Cherie, I mentioned you earlier. So take a nice deep breath in, blow it out. Let's drop our awareness down to the core of the earth for a minute. Just taking a little pause, a little break, rejuvenating ourselves, kind of like going into the warm pools. Yeah, there we go. And then let's stay there for a minute. The problem for you is how to wear white is that fear is not current, it's really old. So you just need to take that courage for yourself and dig into that. You know, what does that fear, what does that bring up in you? Where did you feel that before? And then before that, and then before that. Take yourself back. And with each time, so for everybody, you know, take yourself back to, it's like, where did I feel this before? And, you know, might have a situation that popped up, or you might feel it or have a sense of it, or, you know, might start having a conversation in your head with somebody that takes you back to, kind of thing. You have to like follow the clues. And it's like kind of like a treasure hunt. Basically, you've got this clue, and it's like, okay, where's the next clue taking me? And it's like, then you kind of see that it's like, okay, let's clear that. Done with that. You know, there's little things you can say to yourself like that. It's like, okay, we're done with that. Finished. Over. Let's release this now. And you kind of breathe in, breathe it out. That's one thing you can do. It's like, and then, okay, where did I feel that before that? Where did I experience that before that last event? Keep following yourself back. 5 years old comes up, pops up just now. So that's a long time to carry something that much fear. So we can also take a look at our bodies as being kind of these representation of these analogies to what it's showing us. You got fear in your legs, you're afraid of moving forward. You can't, or it's keeping you from moving forward in your life, stepping into what you want to step for yourself. Shoulders, you know, it's that beast of burden. Where does the beast of burden carry the stuff? On the shoulders, or in the religious image, Christ carrying the cross on his shoulder, you know. So it could be all of that. So let's take a nice deep breath in. I think with all of that, let's drop back down into the core of the earth. There's a lot that's clearing out for people that, yeah, so that's good. A lot of heaviness. And one thing that is popping up now, so it can happen, is when we release stuff, we kind of feel vulnerable and exposed because we're so used to having this layer of whatever it is that we have this layer on top of ourselves for it, that it hides us. It keeps us, it's like a buffer zone between life and the rest, you know. So having that structure in our lives keeps us from being really in that vulnerable place of like, I just don't know. And allowing ourselves to open up on that precipice, because Sydney, you're probably going to have to go to a precipice because you're not allowing yourself to really go into that deep place. So you're going to be on that precipice, and you're just going to have to let go. Or you're going to crash. Something's going to make you crash, and that might be your precipice also. It's finally, and when you crash, you finally say, okay, I give up, you know, and kind of place. I mean, that's happened to me too. I just get to this point in my life. It's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And you just have to be in that place. It's like, I need help. I don't know what to do. Not to an external source, but to yourself, to your own connection with pure source, to your own connection with your higher self. It's to that you need to just say, I give up. I don't know what to do. Help me. Not to an external source. It's not going to come from an external source. Let's see. Just going to. I'm reaching that precipice today. You've been standing on that precipice for a while, but you have not been wanting to see it. Feeling deep surrender, almost like a depression. You're not there yet. You think you are, and that's part of that's overly structured thing that you do. where you keep thinking it's like, "Oh, yeah, everything it's" I've seen you do that before. It's like, "Oh, yeah, this is, really opening up." That's just part of your structure to not surrender. Um, and but you're kinda holding there. It's not like you're not there at all. You're kind of just on that edge, but you've been on that edge for a bit now, but you have been just whoops, resisting that. All right. Let's take another nice deep breath in. Ah, okay. Now I want to stop talking for a minute to just kind of get get that cleared. There's a lot that's cleared out into the space, and so I just want to open that back up for people. Yeah. So just kind of breathe, lower abdomen, connecting with yourself. You just have to get out of your head, Sydney. And just going to run through the other three there. See if anything specific pops up for you guys. Yeah, so a little bit of head stuff for you too. You're not on that edge thing, but there's this piece about kind of getting a little bit in the head space, which we all do. It's kind of a protective thing. Not wanting to feel what's below the head. There's the expression, and there's our feeling place, how we feel, our heart. Sherry, there's you. There's something with your kids. It's not. I think you do. I think that feels like that is a good connection for you. But there's something in the background there that's not really coming through very clearly. But there's something to the side there that you're. It's almost. I'm kind of wondering if you're using your kids to kind of put that to the side because you're not quite ready to take a look at that. So even if we're not ready to act on something, we can still kind of like take a moment to feel into that for ourselves. And then when it's that right moment, we'll be a little bit more prepared. But it's like you kind of feel it hanging there. Something you got to deal with. And not quite sure how to do that. Let's see, Earth Dancer. All right. Nice deep breath in again. Yeah, there we go. Lightening things up. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, that was the flow, wasn't it? So yeah, things are loosening up for everybody, so that's really good. Be careful of holding on to. So there's this piece. What's coming up for you, Earth Dancer? Is like there's that flow, and you're really you really like that, and you really appreciate it, and you feel like that's something that you're really good at. So it's God, I think we all go through this. We have this thing. We feel like this got so good. This feels great. I love it. I can be there and all this, and then we start to get too attached to that, and then we kind of when we start getting attached to stuff, there's a way in which that attachment starts to stiffen it a little bit. So let's take a deep breath into that. Let's just breathe in, hold it, and then let's all exhale whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Sydney, part of the thing with depression is that you don't let yourself just really go into it. You kind of hover, you can feel it, and then you kind of pull yourself in the other direction. So that's why you haven't really fully gone in. How to wear white, it's like on your shoulders. If you really feel into what's on your shoulders, you might find there's a lot of people there, or maybe not a lot, but anything that's one or more is a lot. So that might sound kind of funny, but it's or kind of odd, but it's like there shouldn't be anything on your shoulders. You shouldn't be carrying anybody on your shoulders. You've got at least 2 people on your shoulders. You might think it's 3, but it's actually 2. And that third person is actually just one of the original 2. So that's a lot. Okay. Nice deep breath in. Going to go quiet a little bit. Coming back into that lower abdomen. Breathing into that. I go a little bit quiet for a moment. Feel into your spine about mid-level, like waist level. And just kind of breathe into into there. Yeah, there we go. Allowing that you have a sense of flow starting to move from that mid kind of waist level area of spine, moving up and down. It's moving mostly up right now. We'll get to the down in a minute, get going both ways, but there we go. Bringing your awareness to the sacrum, lower spine sacrum area. You can even put your hands on the back. There we go. Oh. Feeling the weight of the world right now. Yeah, well, that world is particularly 2 people. That's the starting point. Let's put it that way. So you might have piled up a lot of other things on top of those 2 people, but you've been carrying that for a long time. You know, here's the thing. Literally, just take your hands. So everybody, wherever you're feeling, so okay, we're going to just take everybody through this. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. Center into your chest, into your breathing for a moment. Okay, and just notice where you have heaviness. So if you want to follow along with the shoulders, that's fine. That works too. If you're feeling like there's stuff on your shoulders, stuff around, okay, just take your hands literally and just go grab it. Even if you're just grabbing air, it feels like you're grabbing hair. You just feel like, okay, let's pull this stuff off. Let's get this off. You know, so on your shoulders, grab it for your shoulders and go boom and throw it off. Just pull it off, literally. Then take a deep breath. After you've done that, feel into your shoulders. It's like enough of this. I can't carry the world right now. You're not Atlas. Let's put Atlas in his place. Atlas has got his job. It's not yours. So take that load and go throw it off. Now it might come back because you haven't taken care of that pattern, that program that you have to taking that on your shoulders. But at least you can, it's like, oh wow, okay, that's what's back there. Let's see. My daughter's really into her church, and she does a group where they say they're channeling. I think, oh, okay. She says some of them are seers. That's interesting. Well, what exactly does that mean? You know, they're seers. I mean, that sounds great. And they could be seers, but then there's a way that people kind of get distorted with that stuff. Let's take a deep breath in, coming into come back into your lower abdomen. This is good. Yeah, I'm just kind of tuning into that church thing. Part of it is you're nervous that she's going to get caught up in some weird stuff, and you're your mom, so so it's a delicate piece for you. Like they know things, but wonder if it really comes from God. Yeah. Also, it's that whole really really good points. I mean, that's very valid points. Where does it come from? Because just because it comes from the non-physical doesn't mean it's coming from something good. And just because something feels good does not mean it is God. Anything. Here's the thing, guys. You know, you've got some non-physical thing that you can hear. It feels great. It feels fantastic, and says, "I'm Jesus." It's like, how do you know for sure? First of all, if it's saying it's Jesus, it probably isn't. Because if it really was Jesus, you'd probably be, holy shit, you know, and get knocked off your socks. But it's to say that it's like you're feeling this thing. If you can't see it, and you know, if you just have a sense of it, if you've got anything that's more powerful than you, it's going to feel like, oh my God. It doesn't mean that it's a good thing. So they're not too bad, at least not what I'm tapping into, Cherie, but they're not necessarily the highest level either, but they're not. I mean, there's some really weird stuff out there. They don't feel like they're really negative, at least not yet. She's trying to find herself. And, you know, it kind of reminds me when we first connected, and it's just popping in. So check in with yourself on this one. But I remember when we first, did some session work with me, you started going in this place of you were opening up, and it was like, you know, maybe I should do this, should do that. Did you remember that? So that's kind of bringing that to mind of that wanting to find that, in essence, wanting to find deeper connection with herself and with yourself at the time. It was like that was starting to open. It's like, wow, maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. Right. I mean, one thing you can do is you've got those audios from Moss. I know you work with him, and it just play it in the background when your kids are in your house, and their spirits will pick it up, kind of thing. So that would be one way to do that. Yes. Right. So that would be one way to send her in the right direction, like I did. Feeling very hollow, been feeling it all week. Yeah. So, you know, and you're kind of in that place of just feeling it, but it's hard. And I get this. I'm gonna say something. You feel like, okay, how can I get into this more? But I'm going to tell you, you haven't really gone all the way yet. There's still, and it's this piece up here. It's this mental piece up here where you're just trying to hold it together. It's that, And even so, back to that one thread, even if there's that one thread in you that's going, you're keeping yourself from totally letting go. So you got to just, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And you don't like to be in that place of not being in control. You've been trying to stay away from that for a while. Trying to show that you're strong instead of really showing and going in that place of weakness. You're going to have to go to that place of weakness. And you'll get taken to the right place. It might not be to the place that your current self is going, this is where I want to go, but it will be the right place. Okay. Deep breath in. Releasing. Let's drop all the way down to the core of the earth. There's a lot of stuff actually cleared out of people. It got really heavy in the space there. Stuff was clearing out. Yeah, connect into the earth. How to wear white, I would really recommend that you do some energy work. I'm going to say your dad knows somebody who's really good. She does long distance work. Susan Allfelder, I've worked with her too. But it could be somebody local, but I for energy work, guys, because of my training, I actually did a three-year program, and then I have about 5 years worth of training in energy healing. And I only go for the top people. So there are a lot of good people who don't necessarily have a lot of training. So, but when I recommend something, I'm not going to because unless I know the person. People who have studied with Barbara Brennan really know what they're doing. Rosalind Briere also, in terms of energy healing. So I recommend that because I also know what that means when they've studied with Rosalind Briere or Barbara Brennan. And people coming out of those schools are really top notch. I think how to wear white, I think you're really going to appreciate the work because you have that sensitivity, but your mind has kept you from connecting to that and really going in there for you. But I think it would really help you a lot. You got to get out of the talking therapy. You know yourself too well. You know too well how to talk your way around the therapist and around what you're feeling. You got to get out of that. We go through that, and that's a good place to start. And then if you really want to take it to the level that you need to go to, energy healing would be really good. Somebody who's well-versed. So, and also when I say School of Barbara Brennan, part of the reason I say that is because I know that they have certain types of training, which a lot of people who get training in Reiki don't have. For example, because Reiki's out there a lot. And there's a lot of good Reiki healers. Just saying. There's the mental emotional component and how to work through that, how to work somebody through that takes training. So I know Barbara Brennan, that's part of schooling. There's other good stuff out there, but to just help you learn to feel your way through and actually, so I've mentioned Susan Allfelder. See somebody in person. Actually, she's on the other side of the country from you. So see somebody local, and you can find people who are from the Barbara Brennan School. They have a directory. So anyways, I usually don't, the work I do is a little bit different now, because I'm not in person. So otherwise, I do that work too. Just that's more of kind of in-person work. I do a little bit. It's changed. That's kind of work I used to do, but with long distance, it's I'm working a little bit more with people are a little bit more self-directed, and it's not that you're not, but it's that you need that extra support. Okay, let's take a nice deep breath in. And if you take in another breath, that's fine. Hold it at the top. And just let's put everything in that breath that you're holding that's come up in the session for you, and then just blow it out hard and release. Yeah. So, all right, good clearing, everybody. Good clearing. Yeah, there we go. Relaxing in. Allowing yourself to just melt a little bit more. Yeah, good work, everybody. Breathe into that lower abdomen. Just kind of feel where you are. Should feel a little bit lighter, at least for everyone. Everybody looks quite a lot lighter on my end and like more relaxed. Yeah, there you go. All right, good work, everybody. Wednesday. Oh yeah, let me get my QR code. Here's my little QR code if you would like to make a donation. It's on the on YouTube and on Instagram. Just follow the link in the bio if that you're inclined to do that. Just to say I appreciate myself and I appreciate the work I've received here. So appreciation for you and for me and you for being here. Take that time for yourself. And appreciation for what you got. So thank you. And it's fine if this isn't the right time for you, another time. Every Wednesday we are here. So do stop on by next week or another time. And I hope to see you again on Coming into Being. And until we meet again here and in the ethers, or possibly in person, who knows? Anyways, take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time, wherever and